Greg, it was a disappointing result on Sunday against Cardiff City. You've had a couple of days or so to think about it. Have you been able to draw any positives at all from that game?
Um, Not really, to be honest, Rev. 6-0, it's not nice for anyone to be on the receiving end of. It's certainly the biggest, loss that we've suffered in a long time, probably since our first season, to be honest. But, we just got to look at the bigger picture. Cardiff City are a very good team. Like I said after the game, they're more than capable of doing that to anyone in the league, even the likes of Swansea. So it was obviously disappointing. We certainly weren't anywhere near good enough on Sunday, caused them very few problems, and they deservedly ran out 6-0 winners. Positives are, Ken's our goalkeeper, made 2 or 3 very good saves to restrict it to 6. On another day, potentially it could have been more than 6. So, there were some little individual performances that stood out. Obviously, Ken's being one. But other than that, it was just a tough day at the office, and one that we're trying to put behind us very quickly.
And staying with the word disappointment, it was the first time in 37 games that the New Saints has failed to score.
Yeah, it's not really a record that you keep track of, really. I mean, obviously it's we're just aware of that because we have scored goals so consistently. It's it's a tremendous record, but that's those sort of records, they don't they don't even win you games. You can still score in every game but lose. So it's it's certainly not a record that we're proud of it. We're proud of how many goals we scored, but at the end of the day, it's about scoring more goals than the opposition. And obviously on Sunday we didn't do that, and that's what we need to get back to this week.
And we are back in action this coming Sunday against Barry Town United on the road. How easy will it be, or otherwise, to galvanise the girls into leaving last weekend's result behind and focusing on this weekend's fixture?
Yeah, no, it's going to be very easy. I don't think the girls don't need any motivation. They're very professional these days. Their mindset's very good. I was disappointed on Sunday that I thought, once we went 2-0 down, I just thought we rolled over a little bit too easily and made it a little bit too easy for Cardiff to score the 4 remaining goals that they did. But that was, I do think that was a one-off. I think the girls have been spot on with their attitudes this season, and they've won a lot of games this season that last season or the season before we probably wouldn't have won. So we're looking forward to going back to Barry. Obviously we beat them 5-0 at home last time we played them, so full of confidence, know that we can beat them, and just we'll be doing everything we can to get a big reaction out of everyone on Sunday. Yeah.
And as we keep looking at the big picture and the positives and encouragements that we can draw from that, our first 3 games against Barry Town United were all defeats. We conceded 12 goals in the process, but the last 4, we've only been beaten on 1 occasion. And as you say there, Greg, the game earlier this season at Park Hall, a 5-0 victory. So as you step back and you look at the big picture, there has been, as we've said in many previous press conferences, big improvements for the New Saints women.
Yeah, there has. We've come on leaps and bounds from certainly from that first season, early doors. I think we lost to Barry 7-2. I think it was second game of the season. So you look at how we turned that form around against them. Staying with the bigger picture. I was flicking through YouTube and saw that only a couple of years ago Swansea City beat Cardiff City 6-0. So it just shows where. Shows how far Cardiff City have come, and what the journey that they've been on to turn that form around against Swansea. So it's it's certainly something that we got to be mindful of. Is it's these things, they don't happen overnight. We got to keep going, keep working hard, and who's to say that in 2 years' time we're not beating Cardiff City 6-0. That's certainly what we're aiming for.
And as we head towards the culmination of phase 1 in the league, we are in 4th place. We do have a healthy lead over Aberystwyth Town in 5th. So there's a lot at stake on Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday's massive. I think 3 points is minimum, just to make sure that that 4-point gap over Aberystwyth is still there after on Sunday evening. We obviously still got to play Aberystwyth, so we're still in a very good position. Off the top of my head, I'm not overly sure Aberystwyth's remaining fixtures, other than I know they got to play us obviously in the last game of the phase. So I think if we beat Barry and beat Aberystwyth, then I'd be very surprised if we didn't make the top 4. But obviously it's not a given, and there's no more important game than Sunday coming up against Barry.
And Barrytown United in recent games, if we take the last 5 games as current form, they haven't done too well. They have conceded more goals than anyone else in the league. So will you be going into that game as one that you will win, or will you see it as perhaps a cautious game in some ways? How do you approach that, Greg, when you look at the stats and you look at confidence without becoming overconfident?
Yeah, no, I think it's I think it's good to be confident. Certainly not we won't be overconfident. We won't be rocking up there thinking that all we've got to do is run around for 90 minutes and we'll come away with 3 points. But we'll look at the facts. We'll look at how many goals we've scored. We'll look at how many goals they've conceded, and know that they're obviously very vulnerable at the back. They've signed 2 players in the last few days from Cardiff City who probably weren't playing as much as what they would have liked. So they've certainly strengthened Barry. And obviously Barry made it very difficult for Wrexham on Sunday to get 3 points. Wrexham only beat them 1-0. So we've just got to look at all the facts and realise that it's not going to be a walkover. But also if we go in there and play our stuff, then we will be far too strong for them.
And not only the result last week against Cardiff City, but the performances that you were able to take on board yourself. Are we likely to see many changes?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that myself and Sean are going to have to speak about towards the end of the week. We had a lot of girls on that pitch on Sunday who were nowhere near 100%. Knox picked up in training the week before. Knox picked up against Swansea University the Sunday beforehand. So, on another day, potentially, 3 of those players that started the game wouldn't have played. Richie had to come off at half time because her ankle was, she just couldn't walk on it. Helen Evans, missed the whole game completely because of a sickness bug. So, we certainly weren't anywhere near 100%. And against Cardiff City, obviously, you can't afford to go into a game like that with, such key players not playing or not anywhere near 100%. So, we'll have to reassess how those girls are, how they get through training, how they feel at the end of the week, and then we'll make a decision from there. But, chances are there'll probably be 1 or 2 changes, yeah.
And as well as the girls that you've mentioned, I know we do have a number of days ahead of us as we talk here at Park Hall on Tuesday afternoon. But what is the general availability likely to be?
Yeah, I mean, everyone will be available. Chloe Shirley's probably 2 or 3 weeks away from being available for selection, but she's absolutely flying. I mean, I've seen her doing her rehab with James on the side, and she's looking as sharp as what she was before she got the injury. So, we can't wait to have her back because she's definitely going to add some energy and some real creative flair to the team. But like I say, other than that, everyone will be available. It's just how close to 100% we can get them by Sunday.
And finally, Greg, we are in the transfer window at the moment. Are we likely to see any comings possibly to Park Hall in the next few weeks?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're aiming to bring in at least 3 players. I'm speaking to one this afternoon who I'm quite confident of getting. And then there's 2 or 3 other players that we'll also be in touch with. So I think it's needed. I think, like I say, with the injuries that we've got, we just need to have that depth of squad that, if there are players missing, that, we're able to, we've still got 5 very, very strong players. And obviously it's, it's great having 19-year-olds on the bench or the under-19s on the bench. But, I just think against the likes of Cardiff City, that, that experience, you just need, everything you can on the bench really. And that's, obviously not just technical ability, but obviously the more experience you can have on the bench as well. It's you just need all that if you are going to be able to compete against these teams. So yeah, we'll certainly be looking to get 3 sort of older, more experienced players in if we can.